A silverback gorilla had been injured, trapped near a cliffside where villagers dared not go. For days he had been left alone, ignored by locals too frightened to approach, hunted by poachers whose greed knew no limit. "Emily, are you sure about this?" asked Samuel, the field ranger beside her, his voice tight with unease. "They say he's aggressive. He could crush a human without thinking twice." Emily's gaze remained fixed on the jungle path, narrow and slick with mud. "Fear is natural," she said, her voice calm but firm. "Abandoning a life, though, that's unforgivable." The jeep wheels slipped in the mud as they advanced deeper into the forest. Every branch that snapped underfoot, every sudden cry from a hidden animal, set Emily's pulse higher. She moved with purpose, aware of every rustle, every shadow. Somewhere ahead, the giant she had come for waited, alone, wounded and terrified. The villagers near the clearing whispered among themselves as Emily approached. "Why is she even trying? It'll die anyway," muttered one. "That thing isn't safe. Leave it be," said another. Emily stopped a few feet from the edge, crouching slightly, hands visible and empty. "I can't leave him," she said aloud. "Not when he's suffering." Her eyes met a pair of dark, intelligent eyes, hidden in the shadows. The gorilla's gaze calculating, wary and filled with pain. The silverback shifted slightly, groaning softly, a sound of exhaustion and fear that made Emily's chest tighten. The poachers emerged from the tree line before anyone could react, knives glinting. Davi Muro, known in the region for his ruthless animal trading, stepped forward with a predatory grin. "Step aside, lady. That silverback is mine. The market pays double for him." Emily didn't flinch. "He's not yours. He is alive, and I will not abandon him." The air thickened with tension as villagers whispered, backing away, and the poachers laughed, confident. The forest seemed to hold its breath. Emily crouched closer to the giant, letting her hands hang loose, her voice low and soothing. "I'm not here to hurt you. I'm here to help. Trust me." The gorilla's chest heaved, each breath shallow, uneven. Its massive body trembled as if every movement was agony. Then slowly, it extended one enormous hand toward her, uncertain but seeking connection. Emily's lips moved, whispering reassurances. "I've got you, one step at a time. You're safe with me." A branch snapped behind them, and the silverback flinched violently. The poachers laughed cruelly, stepping forward. "Move," Davy barked. "He's coming with us, or he dies here." Emily's heart pounded, but she remained steady. She pulled a rope and a medical kit from her vest, her hands moving with practiced precision. "Stay calm," she murmured to the gorilla. "One more minute, big guy. You're going to make it." Samuel glanced at her, concern etched across his face. "Emily, if he panics—" "He won't," she interrupted, voice firm. "Not if we keep steady." The gorilla's eyes, dark and moist, watched her every motion. Emily adjusted the rope around his broad shoulders, working quickly, but gently. Each movement was deliberate. The slightest error could trigger panic. As she secured him, the rain began to fall harder, drumming on leaves and turning the forest floor into a slick maze of mud and roots. Emily felt the familiar weight of adrenaline mixed with resolve. She had trained for moments like this, moments where life hung in the balance, where skill, patience, and empathy had to outweigh fear. Her call sign, Shadowpaw, whispered in wildlife rescue circles, meant that she could move through danger with precision and care. And today, every second counted. The poachers hesitated, annoyed by her composure. Davy's knife glinted under the dappled sunlight that filtered through the canopy. "I'm taking him," he spat. Stepping closer, Emily stood taller, though the rain plastered her hair to her face. "Killing him won't make you powerful. Protecting him will," she said, calm and unyielding. A low rumble of thunder rolled across the sky, punctuating her words. The gorilla's gaze shifted then, almost imperceptibly. It relaxed, responding to the steady human presence that offered no threat. Emily whispered encouragements, guiding him inch by inch, preparing him for the next move. Then a sudden noise, a monkey shriek, a falling branch, made him flinch. His massive body shifted and Emily reacted instantly, steadying him with a hand on his shoulder. "Easy, you're safe, I've got you," she murmured. From the tree line, another subtle movement caught her attention. A poacher had tried to circle around. Emily's voice was calm but sharp. "Samuel, keep him distracted!" The poacher froze, unsure. Emily continued soothing the gorilla, her presence unwavering. Slowly, methodically, she guided him toward a safer patch of clearing where the vet team would meet them. Every step was tense, every moment alive with the possibility of disaster. The rain intensified, mixing with mud and blood on the forest floor. Emily adjusted the rope, whispered to the gorilla, and continued inching him forward. The poacher's shouts grew louder, frustrated by her control and the animal's compliance. Emily's eyes flicked to the sky. She noted the shifting clouds and calculated the timing. Every second mattered to keep him calm and prevent the poachers from acting impulsively. As the clearing widened, the jungle seemed to respond. Birds fell silent. Even the river's roar softened, as if holding its breath. Emily's mind raced through every step she had trained for. The gorilla's massive chest heaved in tandem with her calm breathing. She whispered softly, stroking his fur where she could reach. "Almost there. You're doing so well, one step at a time." Suddenly, the ground beneath her shifted slightly, a hidden root giving way. The gorilla flinched violently, and the poachers laughed cruelly, stepping forward. Emily kept her hand on his shoulder, steadying him. "I've got you," she whispered, and he paused, trembling, but trusting her steady voice. A subtle rustle in the bushes signaled that the poachers were regrouping, attempting a new tactic. Emily's gaze met Samuel's, and without a word, they adjusted their positioning. She could see the villagers at the edge, watching in silent awe, some moving closer to help, emboldened by her courage. The forest held its breath again. The gorilla, sensing no immediate threat, allowed Emily to adjust the ropes further, preparing him for transport. His massive head rested against her arm briefly, and she whispered encouragements, feeling the weight of his life in her hands. Every heartbeat echoed in her chest, every second stretching. Filled with suspense, lightning flashed above, illuminating the tense faces of poachers, villagers, and Emily alike. The jungle seemed to vibrate with anticipation. Every leaf, every drop of rain, a part of the symphony of survival unfolding. The storm above had settled into a steady drizzle, turning the forest floor into a slippery, treacherous path. Emily Carter's boots sank slightly into the mud with every step, but her focus was unbroken. Ahead, the silverback stirred, massive chest heaving, eyes wild yet flickering with recognition. The poachers had retreated momentarily, but the threat lingered. Any sudden move could undo all the progress she had made. From the distant tree line, the faint hum of a jeep engine announced reinforcements. Dr. Leanne Mora, the chief wildlife veterinarian, and 2 specialized officers emerged, moving with precision and authority. Rain-slicked leaves clung to their gear, but their presence immediately demanded attention. Even the poachers froze, reluctant to interfere now that professionals had arrived. Emily's voice carried over the soft patter of rain. "He's strong enough to make it, but he needs calm. Step carefully." The silverback's gaze followed her, eyes dark and wary, yet tethered to her steady presence. Emily knelt slightly, brushing wet fur from his shoulder with gentle hands. "One step at a time," she whispered, her words deliberate, soothing. "I've got you." The jungle seemed to hold its breath as Dr. Mora approached, checking the ropes Emily had secured. "Emily, your timing is perfect. We can stabilize him now and transport him safely," she said. Her voice was calm, yet urgent, carrying the weight of every animal she had ever saved. Suddenly, a low rumble rolled through the undergrowth, branches snapping under the hidden feet. One of the poachers had tried a reckless approach, thinking he could steal the silverback. Emily's reflexes were immediate. "Samuel, cover that flank," she shouted. Her call sign, Shadowpaw, was whispered in her mind as she assessed the angle, keeping both the animal and her team safe. The silverback shifted, sensing the tension. His groans grew louder, deep vibrations echoing through the forest. Emily extended a hand toward him, her voice soft, almost musical. "Easy. We're not here to hurt you. Trust me. You're safe now." Slowly, he lowered his massive head, allowing the vet to administer a carefully measured sedative. Every second was critical, too fast, and he could panic. Too slow, and the poachers could strike again. Rain mixed with mud streaking Emily's face as she worked alongside Dr. Mora. The jungle was alive with sound, dripping leaves, distant thunder, and the occasional startled cry of a small animal. Emily whispered encouragements, her words barely audible over the storm. Yet the silverback seemed to understand, responding with trembling but compliant movements. As the sedative began to take effect, the gorilla's body slumped slightly, but he remained conscious enough to respond to Emily's presence. She adjusted the ropes around his shoulders, guiding him toward the waiting transport team. Each movement was meticulous, deliberate, cinematic in its precision. A sudden snap of a branch sent the silverback flinching, and for a tense moment, Emily froze, heart pounding. The poachers had been startled by the arrival of authorities, and now hesitated, unsure if they should advance. Emily remained calm, voice steady. "I've got you. We're almost there." Dr. Mora secured an IV and checked the deep wound on his back. "He's going to make it," she murmured, more to herself than anyone else, eyes scanning the jungle for any lingering threats. Emily nodded, feeling a surge of relief mixed with lingering adrenaline. The transport team began moving the silverback carefully onto a reinforced stretcher. The sheer size of the animal made every step a challenge. Rainwater and mud slicked the path, and Emily stayed at his side, guiding him, whispering softly, her hands brushing against his fur when she could. "Almost there. Almost safe." Villagers had begun to gather at a safe distance, their faces a mixture of awe, fear, and newfound respect. One muttered quietly, "I never thought anyone would risk their life like this." Emily's eyes met his briefly, and she offered a small, tired smile. "It's not about risk. It's about doing what's right." The silverback, finally calm under the combined care of Emily and Dr. Mora, was loaded onto the transport vehicle. He lifted his head, massive eyes meeting Emily's once more. For a fleeting moment, there was a connection, recognition, gratitude, and a silent understanding between human and beast. Emily reached out, hand pressing gently to his massive shoulder. "Take care, big guy. Your forest needs you." As the vehicle pulled away, the jungle seemed to exhale, the rain softening into a gentle drizzle. Birds returned to the canopy, and the river's roar softened to a peaceful murmur. Emily stood silently, mud and rain soaking her, yet her chest was filled with a quiet triumph. The poachers had retreated, the villagers were stunned into respect, and the silverback was alive, Thanks to her courage, skill, and unwavering empathy, Samuel stepped beside her, voice quiet. "Emily, I've never seen anyone do that before. You risked everything." Emily shook her head gently. "It wasn't about risk. It's about listening and acting when no one else will. Every life matters, even the voiceless ones." Dr. Mora approached, placing a reassuring hand on Emily's shoulder. "You've reminded all of us today why we do this work. Courage isn't just facing danger, it's facing it with compassion." As the transport vehicle disappeared down the muddy path, the forest slowly returned to normal. Leaves dripped gently, birdsong resumed,